Work on yourself, because that is where everything begins and ends. The wealth you desire, the peace you seek, the respect you crave, the influence you hope to carry, it does not start in the economy. It does not start in the company. It does not start in the world outside. It starts in you. The soil of your life is your own character. And if you do not cultivate the soil, no seed will grow. You cannot harvest success from neglected ground. You cannot build a mansion on a foundation that is crumbling. To change your world, you must first change yourself. You see, the great secret is that your life is not happening to you, it is happening from you. Your thoughts, your words, your habits, your discipline, your values, they are the architects of destiny. If you live small inside, life will shrink to fit you. If you grow big inside, life will expand to match your new stature. That is why the poorest man in the world is not the one without money, but the one without vision, without discipline, without a spirit of growth. And the richest man in the world is not the one with dollars stacked to the ceiling, but the one who has mastered himself so completely that circumstances bow before his resolve. Attitude is the first pillar. Life does not give you what you want, it gives you who you are. If you walk around bitter, resentful, cynical, life will match your spirit with reasons to be bitter. But if you walk around grateful, determined, disciplined, then even the smallest opportunities become doors to abundance. Two people can walk through the same storm. One curses the rain, the other plants a garden. Which one will you be? The attitude you choose daily is the steering wheel of your life. 10 years of gratitude will give you a wealth that no bank can measure, because gratitude transforms everything it touches into treasure. But attitude without discipline is fragile. That is why discipline is the second pillar. Discipline is the bridge between intentions and achievements. Without it, dreams rot into regret. Discipline is choosing to act, not according to how you feel, but according to what you value. Discipline is saving when you want to spend, reading when you want to scroll, working when you want to quit. It is the quiet victories behind closed doors that no one applauds, but life keeps score. Every day you practice discipline. You add another brick to the fortress of your character. And after 10 years of stacking bricks, you are unshakable. Communication is the third pillar. Words are the currency of influence. And influence is the currency of wealth. Learn to speak with clarity, and doors open. Learn to listen deeply, and hearts open. Speak recklessly, and you scatter opportunities like seeds in the wind. Speak wisely, and you cultivate relationships that will carry you across decades. But communication begins not with your mouth, but with your mind. What do you say to yourself every morning? What tone do you use when you fail? Your inner dialogue sets the rhythm of your outer dialogue. You cannot speak powerfully to the world while speaking weakly to yourself. Mindset is the fourth pillar, and it is the soil in which everything grows. If your mindset is poisoned with fear, even opportunities will taste like threats. If your mindset is watered with possibility, even obstacles will look like invitations. A poor man with a rich mindset becomes wealthy. A wealthy man with a poor mindset becomes bankrupt. You are not limited by what is outside of you. You are limited by the cage you build inside your own head. Free your mind, and you free your life. 10 years of disciplined thinking will make you see angles others miss. Will make you calm in storms that break others. Will make you a magnet for solutions while others drown in problems. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. What you repeatedly do, you eventually become. You cannot escape your rituals, they form you. Wake up late, skip responsibilities, waste hours, and you will build a weak life brick by brick. Wake up early, care for your body, study daily, save diligently, and you will build a strong one. Habits compound quietly. Nothing seems to change in a week, but after 10 years, everything has changed. That is the great law. You do not decide your future. You decide your habits, and your habits decide your future. Character is the foundation beneath it all. Without character, success is a house of cards. You can charm your way into a room, but only integrity keeps you seated at the table. You can manipulate your way into wealth, but only character allows you to keep it. Reputation is what others think of you, but character is what you know about yourself. And you cannot run from that mirror. Work harder on your character than on your image. because image is temporary, but character is destiny. Contribution is the crown. If your success ends with you, it ends small. Real wealth is not in what you keep, but in what you give. Contribution expands your influence beyond your years. To give time, wisdom, compassion, money, leadership, this is how you multiply your existence. 10 years of selfish living will leave you empty. 10 years of giving will leave you unforgettable. And when you are gone, the legacy of contribution is the only fortune the grave cannot touch. So work on yourself. Work harder on yourself than on your job. Work harder on yourself than on your excuses. Work harder on yourself than on your critics. Because life does not reward the one who waits, it rewards the one who works. And the greatest work you will ever do is not building empires, not earning millions, not impressing strangers. It is building yourself into someone who can handle all of it with wisdom, with grace, with discipline, with vision. One day, 10 years from now, you will meet a version of yourself. That person will either be the result of excuses or the result of daily discipline. That person will either embarrass you or inspire you. You are building them now. Every choice is a vote. Every action is a brushstroke. The question is not whether you are building, you are. The only question is, what are you building? Work on yourself until you no longer recognize the man or woman who settled for less. Work on yourself until opportunities chase you. Work on yourself until discipline becomes your nature, until gratitude becomes your language, until contribution becomes your joy. Work on yourself until the old self is gone and the new self is undeniable. Work on yourself because the world cannot stop a man or woman who has mastered the art of self-transformation. Work on yourself because your life depends on it. Work on yourself because nothing is more profitable, nothing is more honorable, nothing is more urgent. Work on yourself and you will discover that everything else takes care of itself. Work on yourself because the world will test you. And only a strong inner foundation can endure the weight of life's storms. You cannot hide from yourself. Everywhere you go, you take you with you. If you carry weakness inside, every opportunity will expose it. If you carry strength inside, every obstacle will reveal it. The battlefield is not the marketplace, not the office, not the competition. The battlefield is within. And the one who wins there wins everywhere. A man who has not mastered his mind will be mastered by it. Thoughts are like wild horses. If you do not train them, they will drag you into the wilderness. But when you harness them, when you discipline them, they become vehicles of destiny. 10 years of mastering your thoughts will make you immune to panic, unshaken by failure, unstoppable in pursuit. The rich and the poor, the powerful and the powerless, they all think. But the difference is in the quality of their thoughts. A rich thinker sees solutions. A poor thinker sees problems. A disciplined thinker sees strategy. A distracted thinker sees excuses. Work on your thoughts daily, for as a man thinketh, so he becomes. And when you speak, let your words carry weight. Empty words are cheap, but disciplined words are currency. The tongue has the power of life and death over dreams, over relationships, over futures. A careless word can destroy trust that took years to build. A disciplined word can open doors that money cannot buy. Learn to season your words with wisdom. When you encourage, let it be sincere. When you rebuke, let it be constructive. When you promise, let it be ironclad. 10 years of speaking with discipline will make your voice a force. People will listen when you speak, not because you are loud, but because your words have proven true. But let us not forget, the body is the vessel of the vision. If you neglect it, your future will suffer. The mind may hold vision, the spirit may carry fire, but if the body collapses, the mission ends early. Discipline in health is not vanity, it is stewardship. Eat clean when the world tempts you with indulgence. Train your body when laziness whispers comfort. Rest when your ego pushes recklessly. 10 years of honoring your body will not just add years to your life, it will add life to your years. Energy is wealth, and without it, even the richest man is bankrupt. Then there is time, the most unforgiving resource. Money lost can be earned again. Respect lost can sometimes be rebuilt. But time once gone, it is gone forever. You cannot buy it back. You cannot beg it back. You cannot borrow it from tomorrow. That is why wasting time is the ultimate poverty. Work on yourself by becoming ruthless with your hours. Guard them like treasure. Fill them with purpose. If a man invests 10 years wisely, he will live the rest of his life abundantly. But if he squanders 10 years, No amount of money can buy back what was lost. And understand this. Success is not a destination. It is a becoming. Do not chase the illusion that one day you will arrive and then rest. Life does not work that way. Work on yourself not for an event, but for a lifestyle. The journey itself is the reward. The man who enjoys discipline never fears the future, because he knows the process is shaping him daily. The woman who loves growth never panics at setbacks, because she knows every trial is adding layers of wisdom. 10 years from now, the person you become will be more valuable than the things you acquire. For wealth fades, but wisdom remains. Work on your patience, because life does not unfold on your schedule. The seed planted today does not bear fruit tomorrow. It requires seasons, it requires storms, it requires care. If you quit too early, you forfeit the harvest. But if you endure, if you stay the course, the fruit will be so abundant, it will shock those who doubted you. 10 years of patient discipline will make you a master of timing. You will know when to act, when to wait, when to push, when to rest. Patience is not weakness, it is power under control. And finally, work on your contribution. A life lived only for yourself is a life too small. The ultimate measure of success is not how high you climb, but how many you lift along the way. Work on yourself so you have something to give, strength to encourage, wisdom to guide, resources to bless, leadership to inspire. The selfish hoard, and their lives shrink. The generous give, and their lives expand. 10 years of contribution makes you unforgettable. Because people may forget what you had, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So rise each morning with one command written on your heart. Work on yourself. Work on your attitude until gratitude becomes your natural response. Work on your discipline until action flows without resistance. Work on your words until they carry truth like arrows. Work on your body until energy becomes your ally. Work on your time until every hour pays you back. Work on your patience until you trust the seasons. Work on your contribution until your life becomes legacy. For in the end, the world does not need another dreamer. It needs men and women who dared to master themselves. Work on yourself until you are too strong to be broken, too wise to be deceived, too disciplined to be shaken, too generous to be forgotten. Work on yourself until success is not what you chase, but what you attract. Work on yourself until the old you is a ghost and the new you is a warrior. Work on yourself, because that is the one project that determines all others. Work on yourself, because no one else can do that work for you. They can hand you opportunity, but they cannot hand you character. They can introduce you to connections, but they cannot give you discipline. They can lend you money, but they cannot lend you vision. Everything external collapses if the internal is weak. You cannot build a palace on sand. You cannot pour new wine into cracked vessels. You must be whole. You must be strong. You must be the kind of person who deserves the results you seek. Life does not pay according to desire. It pays according to discipline. Work on yourself until responsibility becomes instinct. The immature blame, complain, and excuse. The mature take ownership, even for what is not their fault, because responsibility is power. If you say, "It is not my fault," you surrender control. But if you say, "It is my responsibility," you take the steering wheel. 10 years of practicing responsibility will make you undefeatable, because nothing will ever leave you powerless. Everything becomes material for growth. Everything becomes training. Work on yourself until you refuse to be a victim. Work on yourself until self-discipline is no longer a struggle but a lifestyle. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. The undisciplined man is a slave to his appetites. The disciplined man is free to pursue purpose. 10 years of consistent self-discipline will give you mastery others only dream about. You will command your mornings instead of being dragged by them. You will command your money instead of being enslaved to debt. You will command your habits instead of being destroyed by them. This is not harshness, it is liberation. Discipline is the price of freedom, and freedom is the reward of discipline. Work on yourself until your mind becomes a fortress. The world will throw opinions like arrows, but they will not penetrate if your walls are strong. People will mock, doubt, discourage, but you will stand calm. Why? Because your mind has been trained, your perspective sharpened, your inner voice louder than all the outer noise. 10 years of mental strengthening will make you an island of calm in a sea of chaos. People will come to you not just for answers, but for presence. That is the power of a fortified mind. Work on yourself until your character is untouchable. Reputation is what others say, but character is what you know in your quiet moments. Integrity is keeping promises even when no one is watching. Honesty is speaking truth even when lies would be more convenient. Loyalty is standing firm even when betrayal is fashionable. 10 years of living by principle will turn you into a rare human being, trusted, respected, unshakable. Money can buy attention, but only character earns respect. Work on yourself until contribution is your joy. To take is natural, but to give is divine. Life measures greatness not by accumulation, but by distribution. What do you give? Wisdom, kindness, leadership, courage, love. These are the true currencies. 10 years of contribution builds a legacy that money alone cannot. You may be forgotten for what you earned, but never for what you gave. Work on yourself so you can overflow into others. Because a cup that is empty cannot pour. Fill yourself first, then let your life become a fountain for others. Work on yourself until positivity is your default. Negativity is easy. It takes no effort to complain, no strength to criticize. But positivity is a discipline. It is choosing to see opportunity in setback, to see strength in struggle, to see lessons in failure. This is not naive optimism. It is strategic optimism. 10 years of living with positivity will make you magnetic. People will want to be around you because you radiate possibility in a world full of problems. That is influence, and influence is wealth. Work on yourself until habits serve you instead of enslave you. Success is not in what you do occasionally, it is in what you do daily. A single donut won't ruin you, but 1,000 will. A single book won't make you wise, but 1,000 will. 10 years of good habits can elevate you beyond recognition. 10 years of bad habits can bury you in mediocrity. You are not what you hope for. You are what you repeatedly do. So make your rituals holy. Guard them with fire. Because your rituals decide your results. Work on yourself until patience becomes power. The impatient quit when results do not appear fast enough. But transformation is not an event, it is a process. A tree does not bear fruit the day you plant it. But in due season, after storms, after time, after care, the harvest comes. 10 years of patient work creates results so undeniable they silence critics and inspire generations. Do not let delay deceive you. Progress is happening in silence. Keep watering, keep working, keep waiting. Patience is not passive, it is active faith in the process. Work on yourself until contribution, discipline, patience, positivity, and character all merge into one identity, a human being so transformed that nothing outside can destroy what you have built inside. That is the ultimate wealth. That is the ultimate power. That is the ultimate freedom. Work on yourself because that is the only guarantee you will ever have in life. You cannot guarantee the markets. You cannot guarantee the government. You cannot guarantee the weather, the economy, the industry, the company, or the people around you. But you can guarantee what you put into yourself. You can guarantee how hard you study, how disciplined you become, how consistent you remain. You can guarantee that you rise earlier, think deeper, move sharper, and live stronger than you did yesterday. And when you take responsibility for that, life has no choice but to respond. Work on yourself until discipline is not a decision, but your very nature. Most people wait for motivation. They wait for a good mood, for the right timing, for inspiration to strike. But motivation is a visitor. Discipline is a resident. Motivation knocks and disappears. Discipline lives in your house. Discipline is brushing your teeth even when you don't feel like it, because health requires it. Discipline is saving before you spend, because wealth requires it. Discipline is working when others quit, because greatness requires it. 10 years of discipline makes you unstoppable, because by then it is no longer something you do, it is who you are. Work on yourself until excuses no longer comfort you. Excuses are chains that sound like freedom. They whisper, "You had no choice." And for a moment you feel safe. But the price of excuses is bondage. 10 years of excuses creates a life that is smaller than it should have been. 10 years of excuses turns potential into regret. Refuse them, burn them, starve them. When you remove excuses, all that is left is action. And action is the path to transformation. Work on yourself until learning becomes your daily bread. Formal education can make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. Read the wisdom of great minds until their voices echo in your thoughts. Study the failures of history so you do not repeat them. Learn skills that multiply your value in the marketplace. Knowledge is leverage, and leverage turns effort into results. 10 years of consistent learning will make you a master while others remain amateurs. You will see what they cannot. You will know what they don't. And because of that, you will have what they only dream. Work on yourself until gratitude becomes your native language. Gratitude is the great multiplier. What you appreciate expands. What you complain about shrinks. Gratitude makes you rich long before money does. 10 years of practicing gratitude will rewire your perception. And suddenly, every ordinary moment becomes extraordinary. The air becomes a gift. The sunrise a blessing. The struggle's a teacher. And when you live with gratitude, people feel it. And life mirrors it back to you. Work on yourself until generosity flows naturally. Money is a tool, not a master. Influence is a gift, not a possession. When you give, you expand. When you hoard, you shrink. 10 years of generosity will create a circle of trust around you so strong that no storm can shake it. People will want to work with you, invest with you, walk with you, because generosity is magnetic. Contribution makes you wealthy in ways money cannot measure. Work on yourself until fear bows before you. Fear will always come. But courage is not the absence of fear, it is mastery over it. You face it, you feel it, and you move forward anyway. 10 years of facing fear creates a boldness that will terrify your excuses. Fear says, "What if you fail?" Courage replies, "What if I succeed?" Fear says, "You are not enough." Courage replies, "I will become more than enough." Work on yourself until fear is no longer your jailer, but your fuel. Work on yourself until your vision is sharper than your circumstances. Circumstances will lie. They will tell you it is impossible, that the mountain is too high, the valley too deep, the road too long. But vision refuses to bow. Vision says, "I am not defined by what is, I am defined by what can be." 10 years of holding vision will transform deserts into gardens, failures into foundations, and setbacks into setups. Without vision, people perish. With vision, people flourish. Work on yourself until the world looks at you and sees evidence, not excuses. Evidence of discipline, evidence of growth, evidence of consistency, evidence of character, evidence of contribution. 10 years of evidence makes you undeniable. The doubters will be silent, the critics irrelevant, because the proof of your life will speak louder than any opinion. Work on yourself until, when the mirror asks, "Who are you?" you can answer with certainty, "I am the result of discipline, gratitude, patience, courage, and contribution. I am the architect of my destiny. I am a builder of wealth, a steward of character, a servant of purpose. I am no longer who I was because I worked on myself, and I became who I was meant to be." Work on yourself, because when you do, everything else will fall into place. Work on yourself, because no one can carry the weight of your destiny except you. The world may lend you hands for a moment, but it will not build your life for you. Parents can guide you, friends can encourage you, mentors can instruct you, but at the end of the day, it is you who must rise, you who must work, you who must transform. The responsibility is not a burden, it is a crown. To know that you have the power to change, to grow, to design your future that is not pressure, that is privilege. Work on yourself until your mornings become sacred. How you begin your day sets the rhythm of your life. Do not surrender the first hours of the day to distraction. Guard them like treasure. Rise early, not just in body but in spirit. Fill your mind with clarity, your body with energy, your heart with gratitude. If you win the morning, you win the day. And 10 years of winning mornings will write a life so victorious that people will call it destiny. But it will not be destiny, it will be design. Work on yourself until your evenings become reflection. Too many people waste the night in numbness and noise and empty entertainment, in forgetting what matters. But the evening is a teacher. It is a time to ask, what did I build today? What did I learn today? Did I move closer to my vision or further away? A decade of nightly reflection will make you wise beyond your years. Because reflection turns experience into wisdom. Without reflection, life repeats in cycles. With reflection, life evolves in lessons. Work on yourself until you treat money as a servant, not a master. Most people chase money like slaves chasing a whip, desperate, afraid, enslaved. But money is meant to serve you, not enslave you. When you discipline yourself to earn it with integrity, manage it with wisdom, save it with patience, invest it with foresight, and give it with generosity, money becomes a tool for freedom. 10 years of wise stewardship will turn even small beginnings into empires. But if you neglect it, if you spend recklessly, if you worship it, 10 years will bury you in chains of debt and regret. Work on yourself until your relationships are built on principle, not desperation. Too many people cling to the wrong company because they fear being alone. But loneliness with integrity is better than companionship with compromise. When you work on yourself, you attract people who reflect your growth, your vision, your discipline. 10 years of building yourself will magnetize the right relationships into your life. Partnerships built not on need, but on mutual strength, not on weakness, but on shared vision. Work on yourself until your emotions serve you rather than sabotage you. Anger undisciplined destroys. Fear unchecked paralyzes. Desire uncontrolled enslaves. But when you work on yourself, emotions become allies. Anger becomes fuel for justice. Fear becomes caution that sharpens awareness. Desire becomes passion that drives creation. 10 years of mastering emotions will make you calm in conflict, strong in temptation, steady in uncertainty. Emotional mastery is power, because the man who controls himself cannot be controlled by the world. Work on yourself until you find joy in the process, not just the reward. Too many people only celebrate when they arrive, forgetting that life is lived in the journey, but the reward is not only at the end, it is in every step, every struggle, every victory along the way. Work on yourself until discipline feels like freedom, until sacrifice feels like investment, until growth feels like joy. 10 years of this mindset will make your life a celebration, not of one grand achievement, but of countless daily triumphs. Work on yourself until your words align with your deeds. Talk is cheap, but integrity is priceless. If you say you will do it, do it. If you promise, deliver. If you commit, follow through. 10 years of alignment between words and actions will make your name a brand of trust. People will believe you not because you speak, but because your life has proven your words. That kind of credibility is influence, and influence is the highest currency. Work on yourself until setbacks no longer surprise you. They are not accidents, they are part of the plan. Every failure is feedback. Every delay is training. Every disappointment is preparation. When you stop expecting life to be easy, you stop being broken by its difficulties. 10 years of treating setbacks as teachers will make you invincible. You will rise from failures faster than others recover from success. Work on yourself until contribution is not an afterthought, but a mission. Your wealth, your wisdom, your influence are not only for you, they are for others. A candle loses nothing by lighting another, and in doing so, it multiplies the light. 10 years of giving will echo further than 100 years of taking. Work on yourself until your life itself becomes a gift. Because in the end, success is not something you chase, it is something you attract by the person you become. So, work on yourself. Work relentlessly. Work daily. Work faithfully. Work until excuses no longer tempt you. Until laziness no longer binds you. Until fear no longer silences you. Work on yourself until you are the kind of person who can handle wealth without arrogance, influence without corruption, success without pride, and struggle without surrender. Work on yourself, for that is the greatest project you will ever complete.